Have you ever stopped to wonder, actually, what is love? What is love? Where does love come from? Have you ever had one of those moments? Cup of coffee, watching TV, watching a bit of Neighbours. What's love? Where does it come from? Why do we even love at all? Because sometimes love can be complicated, right? Young love, teenagers experiencing a bit of love for the first time, watching them just change into these strange little things. I remember my mates at school when they would all fall in love and they suddenly didn't want to talk to me or play rugby with me or do anything because they were in love. You never spoken to them again because they were in love and their girlfriends nicked my friends. What's it about? If I have to ask you to answer right now, I'm sure some of you might say, well, we learn it from our community. We learn it from our mothers, perhaps. Maybe the way that she cares for us or embraces us. Maybe it's, from our father's care and all those kind of things. Maybe some of you might say, well, it's built into us. Like, it's an instinct. It's what makes us human. Animals love, though, right? They love a walk. Dogs. Gorillas love gorillas. Some might even point to science and say, well, actually, it's just a bit of hormone. It's a few chemicals. What, oxytocin. You heard of that? Did you know when you look at a dog, your brain produces oxytocin? And in the dog as well. How fascinating is that? If you look at a cat, no. I'm sorry, there's no oxytocin there. I didn't want to reveal that to you this morning, but in some ways it's all partly true. It is all partly true. But actually, if we come to God's word, and the disciple who known as John, and John's a fascinating disciple because he likes to tell you he's the one that Jesus loved the most. He calls himself the beloved. He's like, he had the disciples and then he had me. And I was John and I'm Jesus' favourite. He gives us this deeper explanation that goes beyond our biology, beyond our culture, beyond like our psychology and all that it is. And he says this in 1 John 4:19. We love because he first loved us. We love because he first loved us. Now think about it. It doesn't say that we love because it's natural. Because I don't think love comes naturally to some. It doesn't say we love because, we're nice people. Because not everybody's nice, are they? He says the very source of our capacity to love is found outside of us. And it begins in God. This is one little verse, 7 little words, and it's like a seed. Like a precious seed that this week we were giving out a seed. And we're praying that these seeds just come to life in people. This is a seed. It looks small. But inside it holds the whole power of the Word of God. The whole power of the living gospel. And if you plant this seed in your heart, each and every one of us, it can grow into an entire forest of truth. And it can change us from the inside out. It speaks of who God is. The one who initiates love. It speaks of who we are. People who only know how to love because he first loved us. And it speaks to us about what life is for. To reflect and share the love that we've received. So for a few moments this morning, we're going to sit with one verse. We're going to look at it. We're going to think about the source of love. We're going to think about our response to the source of love. And we're going to look at the shape of love in our everyday life. And hopefully by the end, you won't just know that God loved you first, but you'll actually feel it and be moved by it. And hopefully moved and transformed to live a little bit differently, perhaps. So let's look at the source of love. It says, He first loved us. He first loved us. Crystal clear, John, straight away. It doesn't start with you. It doesn't start with us. He doesn't say we love because we're naturally good at it. He doesn't say we love because we woke up one day and just decided to. John says that God made the first move. God made the first move. 1 John 4:10. In this is love. Not that we have loved God, but that He loved us and sent His Son to be the propitiation. Everybody say propitiation for our sins. We talked about that a few months ago. Propitiation means the sacrifice that satisfied. Bless you. It's I can't remember in the sermon, but it's online. It's the propitiation. And there's an order that we need to notice. That not us loving God, but God loving us. That's what comes first. Romans 5 verse 8. God shows His love for us in that while we were still sinners, while we were still away from Him, that He died for us. That means before you ever prayed, that means before you ever come into a church, before you ever worshipped, before you even cared about who God was, He already loved you enough to send His Son to die for you. Now, this is pretty radical when you look across religions across the board. Because in every other story, in every other religion, it speaks of this story that if you reach far enough, if you do as much as possible, maybe, just maybe, the gods will respond. So the onus is of you and your effort and your works, shining your shoes, being a nice person. That's, you've got to work hard at it. If you work hard enough, then there's just a little chance that maybe the gods will be happy with you. But the gospel flips it upside down. God reaches down first. That's why we call that this is a relationship. Sometimes people say, well, I'm not religious. And the first thing that we say as Christians, well, neither am I. But people don't understand exactly what we're trying to say. But religion would be us reaching up to God. We're doing everything that we can do to attain love. A relationship is He made the first move for each and every one of us. We respond to His first step. God reaches down first before we could even lift a finger. Think of you at your worst. I don't know what that looks like. I know what my worst looks like. Think of you at your worst and then realize that God was still loving you and the invitation for Him in your life was still there, that He never ever turned His back on you. Think of a hiker lost in the mountains, exhausted, no food, no water. But they don't summon they want a helicopter, but they don't summon a helicopter by their own. It's not their own skill, it's not their own brilliance. They don't climb out of the valley by their own strength. The helicopter comes and rescues them. The team comes first, searching, calling their name, lifting them out. God is calling our community by their name. He's calling them out. He's seeking them. He wants them. That's what John means when he says He first loved us. God came searching for each and every one of us, not waiting for us to find our way back to Him. little Ewan, who is the cutest thing in the world, our newest addition, and Eli, but he's got headphones, and they're amazing. Have you seen him with his headphones on? He's not here right now, he's in the back room. It's the cutest thing in the world. Cutest baby in the world, right now, in my own humble opinion. And he can't love Dan and Jerry just yet. He can't love Dan and Jerry just yet. He can't say thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for putting up another night of my crying. He can't contribute. He can't even hold his head up. Well, he can right now. He's bouncing about. It's amazing to watch him. And yet Dan and Jerry, the pair, I'm sorry for highlighting you, they pour out their love. They continue to feed him, hold him, sing to him, sacrifice their sleep for him. And as little Ewan, I keep saying that wrong as well, I'm sure. His love, as he matures and grows, will develop. But from the beginning, it's the parents' love that comes first. That's how God's love works. Before we could form words of worship, before, many of us, I don't know how to pray. I don't know, what's this thing called the Bible? Before we could do anything for him, he loved us first. There's a great story in Luke 15. Many of you will know it, maybe some may not. But Jesus tells a story about this rebellious son, the prodigal son. He wastes all his money. He wastes all of his inheritance. And finally, he decides to crawl back home when he's realized that he doesn't want to feed pigs anymore. And there's this great picture, because before he even can finish rehearsing his apology speech, his father runs out to meet him, embraces him, and throws a feast for all to celebrate. That is the heart of God. He moves first. Think about electricity. A lamp doesn't shine, doesn't work first because it's trying harder. A lamp, I'm stretching your imagination. Just think of a lamp has a brain. Oh, if only I could shine brighter. It shines when it's plugged into the source. Does that make sense? It shines when it's plugged in, and that is the Christian life. Once you're connected to the love of God, light comes out. Because you're connected to the source. Because he loved us first. We can now truly love him back. And it's a response that's not out of fear. It's not out of guilt. It's not out of duty. But it is our joyful response. We went out onto the streets this week. We went without sleep. We went without energy. We did it all. Why? Because he first loved us. We want to love him back by serving him, by being his hands and feet. We're not doing it out of a duty. We're not sitting here like, well, we've got ourselves into heaven now because we gave out some flowers. No, you didn't. You gave someone hay fever. Always another story. Our worship is a love that is expressed upwards because of his love. Our prayer is our love in conversation with him. Our obedience is our love for him in action towards him. Jesus said in John 14:15, if you love me, keep my commandments. If you love me, keep my commandments. That's not about us earning any kind of approval. It's about showing our love in return. When I proposed to my wife, it was a bit of a rush job, if I'm honest. Typical me, I know. But I managed to manufacture the whole thing, and I was in Gloucester. Gloucester's a city. It had docks. What's the most romantic thing in Gloucester? A boat. That's what I had in my head. I took Hannah out for a meal. I'm sat there going, right, I need to get Hannah to the docks. I need to get her on a boat. So I started talking, and you think I would have known her a little bit longer, but I hadn't. I was like, should we go and see the boats? I don't like boats. And I'm thinking of this old pirate ship that is there, and I was like, that'd be great setting for me to get down it. So I was like, come on, let's go for some food right here, right next to the docks. Let's go for a drink here. Let's go for some pudding. Let's go. Engineering my time all the way to the docks. And then I got round the corner, and there it was, gone. There was just the dock. What am I going to do? How am I going to do this thing? And so, I walked around the corner, and there was the next best thing. There was a fountain. It was a couple of bricks with a little bit of water. It was dark. There was some light. Oh, this is romantic. So I took the ring out of the box, and I got on one knee, and she was there, and I pretended to do my shoelace, John. And she turned around like, will you marry me? The box was upside down and all the way round, so it wasn't the right way. And she went, shut up. So I said it again with the box the right way round and showed it. Will you marry me? And of course, she said yes. Now, the moment that she said yes, our life changed. Like, it changes direction, doesn't it? We begin to live differently because of that love. She responded to the love that was already given. I mean, I hate to say it now, but literally overnight she changed. She had all these wedding books from somewhere, and I was like, whoa. Typical me, let's get married, but I don't want to plan it. That's me. Right, okay, 1 hour on a Tuesday, we will talk about weddings. That's how I navigated that, see? Don't follow me. If you're, don't. That's how not to do it. But she responded to love already given. And that is how it is with God. We don't work to earn his love. We live differently because he already gave it. He already gave it. And there's a thing in there about how we should be loving others because of that love first. 1 John 4, verse 20. If anyone says, I love God, and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he does not love his brother whom he has seen, cannot love God whom he has not seen. Quite strong language, isn't it? But John knows real love for God will always spill out into love for other people. Our love is not abstract. It's practical. It looks like Love Winton. It looks like forgiveness instead of bitterness. It looks like generosity instead of greed. It looks like patience instead of anger. It looks like hospitality instead of indifference. It's got legs. You're welcome. Think of a cup of coffee. Derek, I love you. You bring me a coffee every morning on a Sunday, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you. So, be more Derek. That is our church motto. Be more Derek. Forget love others. Just be more Derek. He's so generous to everybody around him. Have you had his eggs yet? I bet you have, haven't you? I bet you've had a box of eggs off Derek. No, there's a queue. He's brought some eggs with him. Oh, you bought your chicken. Derek, I hope you think the eggs aren't coming from that chicken. Derek brings me a cup of coffee and it's full to the brim, and someone might bump into me. What spills out? Coffee, obviously. Why? Because that's what's inside. Coffee. When life bumps you, what comes out? When you're irritated. When you're irritated or offended or hurt, what spills out? If God loves fills you, love should overflow. And we have a process, don't we? We have a process. I need more of God's love in my car. That's what I need. That's where God's working on me with my... it's not road rage. It's not road rage. I don't know what it is. I'm seeking counselling because of it. Who shouted something then? Car rage. No. Not in Bournemouth. Imagine a mirror facing the sun. The mirror has no light of its own, does it? The mirror reflects what it receives. That's us with God's love. We reflect what we receive. When we're angled towards Him, His love bounces into the world through us. But if that mirror turns away, then nothing shines. If we block the source, nothing gets through. That's why staying close to God is so important. It's essential, because apart from His love, we can't love. We will run out of love. We get exhausted and burn out. We get impatient. We need to stay connected. So how do I know if I'm truly responding to God's love? Look at your worship, your obedience, your relationships. Are they marked by love? Is your life marked by love? When people bump into me, what spills out? Love or something else? Who is God calling me to reflect His love towards this week? I wonder. God's love isn't just a feeling. It's not a warm thought. And it's not just some kind of emotion. When John speaks of love, he points us straight to Jesus. Because in Jesus we see the shape of love. It's a sacrificial love. It cost Jesus everything. On the cross, Jesus didn't hold anything back. He gave all of Himself, His body, His blood, His life. And real love always costs something. It might cost us a bit of time, a bit of pride, a bit of inconvenience, a bit of comfort. I admire our heroes. I think of a firefighter who runs into burning buildings to save something trapped inside. Even that's costly love. Love willing to risk everything. A love willing to risk everything. That is the love that Jesus showed us. It's unconditional. It's not earned. It's not deserved. He didn't wait until we were cleaned up. I'm so thankful that He didn't. He didn't wait till we were ready. He loved us at our worst. And He still does. He still does. God's love is transformational. It changes us from the inside out. His love softens our hearts, reshapes our habits, turns our life around. And the more we experience it, the more we become like Him. That is the end goal. To be more like Jesus on earth as it is in heaven. If you put a rusty nail in a bottle of vinegar, over time, it won't happen overnight, but the vinegar will strip away all the corrosion, all the rust. And God's love works the same way. The longer we stay immersed in His love, the more it strips away our bitterness, our anger, our selfishness, until something new shines through. This isn't just, like I said, an abstract thing. This is a Monday morning thing. This is a wet Wednesday thing. What do we do with these truths? Well, maybe in marriage or parenting or friendships, the call is not wait until they love me first, but go first in love, just as God did. In the church, when we're tempted to pull back, to withdraw, to gossip, to judge, we remember God didn't wait for us to be lovable before he embraced us. In the world, in our workplace, Christians should be radically different. Radically different. We love our enemies. We don't just walk by the poor, we serve them. We forgive those who wrong us. That is the shape of Christ-like love in action. And we have to do something with it. It's no good when we keep it to ourselves. So let me ask you, who's God calling you to love this week? Not because they deserve it, but because he first loved you. I'll go first. Who supports Arsenal? I support Leeds. Don't insult me. Mike, I love you. Even though you beat us 5-0 yesterday. Hang on. Let's just calm down here. I love you, brother. I don't take it personal. You've only spent £1 billion in the last 3 years. Yeah. Bless you. Is it a family member who's been difficult? Summer holidays are finished. Boom. Is it a friend who's drifted away, who you just don't connect with anymore for one reason? Is it a colleague? Do you know that fellow who grates you when you get into your office and he just really winds you up? Is it maybe even an enemy who's wounded you deeply? Someone who keeps parking in front of your drive? How about tomorrow, if that same person parks in front of your drive, take them a cup of coffee. Bless you. Thank you for blocking my driveway. Here's a cup of tea. Would you like a biscuit? It's radical. It's radical. God's love always moves first. And when we follow his lead, something powerful happens. So let's follow his lead. People see him through us. We love because he first loved us. Simple verse. It's not just theology. It's a way of life for each one of us that follow Jesus. The source is God. He loves us first. He initiates. Our response is that we return that love to God and others. And it looks sacrificial, unconditional, transformational. It looks like Jesus. So don't wait to be loved. Go first in love. The next time you fall out with your partner, go first in love. Because the only reason we can love at all is that God went first. And when we do, the world doesn't just see us, they see him. Let's be people of love. Maybe today, you wouldn't even call yourself a Christian. Can I tell you something this morning? God's love for you has already gone ahead of you. Before you ever prayed, before you ever came through these doors, he already loved you. And that's why Jesus came. Not to give you more rules to follow, because we don't need them, but to offer you and us a relationship that begins with grace. Pure grace. You don't have to clean yourself up first. You don't have to have all the answers. You simply start by receiving his love, letting it begin to change your life from the inside out. It starts somewhere for each one of us, and maybe this morning it could start with you. Why don't we stand?